Okay guys, welcome back to another random upload. Today is random upload number 5. We're going to go back in time, back into free-to-play and go over my top 10 moments in free-to-play before Members was released in 2004Scape. I will go ahead and make a commentary on my own and explain to you guys why it was my top moment. So hopefully that makes sense. Now these are not in the bestest order, but let's get into it though. So for my first favorite moment in free-to-play, starting at number 10, it was buying the rune sword from my very first friend in 2004Scape, Smokey, who by the way doesn't play at the moment. I'm pretty sure he's just taking a break. Getting the rune sword too, guys, was definitely a nice upgrade in free-to-play because at the time the rune skimmy was actually being sold for like 200k. But yeah, they were very expensive at the time, and just being able to upgrade to something like the rune sword, which is pretty close to the rune skimmy when it comes to DPS. This is why it was one of my favorite moments in free-to-play. Now on to number 9. Believe it or not, this was actually one of my favorite moments in free-to-play as well. Buying the Adamant kite shield for 15 or 7k actually. They were selling for 15k. I actually saved some GP here. For anyone who doesn't know, the Rune kite shield used to sell for 200k, same price as the Rune skim, and even the Rune full helm was kind of expensive because the clans were camping the greater demons for the Rune full helm, and you know, not just clans but even PKers. Just having full Addy almost in 2004Scape, especially in free-to-play, felt like almost like when you get full Rune armor. At the time, the Adamant kite shield was also the second best in slot shield for the game, so that is another reason why it was my favorite moment. Just before I continue with number 8, let's quickly go ahead and just address the quality of my recordings right now. Most of these are in 720p, but the reason why they're so crap quality right now is because I actually had to pull these off YouTube, and the only way I was able to do that was actually download them through a converting app. But there are some recordings that are actually in good quality that I saved onto my computer. I just didn't think of saving some of these progress vids to my computer. But yes, this is number 8. The reason why this is another favorite moment of my time in free-to-play is because it's the Amulet of Accuracy. It's a nice early item to grab for sure. As you know, the Amulet of Accuracy does provide some nice attack bonuses. It's a free amulet, you know. At the time, the Amulet of Power was getting sold for like, I think 10k, I want to say even 15k. Definitely something I wasn't able to afford at the time. So we went ahead and knocked out the imp catcher quest so we could get the Amulet of Accuracy. But yes, that would be the reason why this was my favorite moment. It's starting to almost look like my favorite moments is when I got an item, a specific item in game. A lot of this is because in free-to-play, all of these were just nice upgrades at the time. Right now, currently in 2004Scape, a Rune chainbody for some of us might not even be an upgrade anymore. The Rune plate body would be the upgrade now, or even a Ceradon plate body, right? But in free-to-play, a lot of us didn't have the money to even afford a rune plate body or even a full rune set for that matter. And because I'm a fan of the chain body, I bought a chain body for 55k in Edgeville. Or actually it wasn't even 55k, it was 45k. I think I saved myself like 5k here, but that's about it. Once we got the chain body though, I was pretty pumped. I was not too far from 40 defense at this point. I think I had like 35 defense or something like that. Once I was able to equip my rune chain body, it was just a nice feeling because I was slowly getting to a point in game now where my guy was getting some decent defense bonus here. Now for my 6th favorite moment, it was actually hitting 50 combat in the game. With 40 plus melee stats, my prayer level was pretty decent. Actually, it was more than pretty decent. It was good for this level. As you know, I did train a lot on skeletons throughout my progress vids. I was never really at giants leveling up my prayer or anything like that. I just got my prayer level up just by burying regular bones, believe it or not. I also bought 2000 regular bones too, so that helped out too with my prayer XP. This is something I won't show you guys in this video, but yeah, if you go back to my progress vids, you guys can see pretty much everything that I did throughout free-to-play. Now on to number 5. At this point in game, I probably sold over 3,000 cowhides to players in game. I sold them between the price of 120 GP and 110 GP. I think at one point I even sold it for 100 GP. This was my main moneymaker at the time for my account. It's one of the reasons why I was able to afford a rune chainbody, a rune sword, my adamant armor. It was one of the reasons why I was able to afford big bones too later on, and even some more food for myself. Because I was strictly focusing on my level up, my combat level, food was important. My fishing level wasn't the greatest at the time, so yeah, I was definitely going to add this one to one of my top favorite moments. Now for number 4, guys, it was actually unlocking some teleports finally in 2004Scape. Lumbridge being the first teleport that you unlock. Actually, no, it's the second teleport. We totally forgot to show you guys the varrock teleport, which happens at 25 magic. I was leveling up my magic using the Earth Strike spell, which did help out with GP at the time. I needed to get my magic level up finally, and we knocked out all the teleports that was available for us at the time, which was the Lumbridge teleport, the varrock teleport, and even the teleport to Felidor too. Moving on to number 3, unlocking raw lobsters in game felt like a nice upgrade as well. I knew at this point my account was on its way where I can now just fish my own food really and save more GP along the way too. I felt like unlocking raw lobsters in game is one of the most important things to do for your account. I've always felt that way for some reason, and yeah, it definitely helped out with my combat training goals that were to come. And when we were able to finally fish our own raw lobsters, we did save GP here. But when we did feel kind of lazy, we did still buy off the market. But nonetheless, unlocking the raw lobster in game was a nice upgrade as well for my account. And for number 2, this one was actually kind of crazy, but getting a visit from a moderator in game while I was training at skeletons, that was really surprising. Actually, it was really unexpected and surprising to see a moderator in game like this. And not just seeing a moderator in general, but a moderator fighting Varrock here. Like, it was actually pretty funny, you know. That's why I was typing in chat, laugh aloud. And believe it or not, it's like growing up playing RuneScape all these years, I remember after seeing the first video about a moderator visiting someone in game, I always wondered if it would ever happen to me, right? So in a way, it was kind of like a dream come true, as cheesy as that sounds. Now, before I get into my number 1 favorite moment in free-to-play, let's go ahead and show you guys a few honorable mentions. As you guys know, fighting Varrock and defeating Varrock too is probably one of the coolest moments in RuneScape all the way. You know, was definitely one of those things that you just look forward to, right? So I had to go ahead and mention this one quickly. The next honorable mention would be me finally hitting 70 plus defense in game. As you guys know, throughout my entire time of training my combat level, I always took out defense levels first before I even trained my attack and strength level. This is why my attack level at this point was kind of low, 55. My strength was at 62. With 70 defense too, guys, if the barrels minigame was in the game, I would very well be able to now equip barrels armor, but because it wasn't available, yeah, we were stuck with the rune armor. And at the time too, I was ranked 66 on the defense high scores. Okay, so just a couple more honorable mentions and we'll move on to the number 1 favorite moment that I experienced in free-to-play. But yes, 52 prayer was actually one of the honorable mentions because at the time, smite was actually the last prayer you could use in game. Piety didn't come out until 2007 of July, and smite was already around in 2005 throughout 2006 RuneScape, right? So that is why I wanted to go ahead and share that one. And also unlocking the dragon weapons, or the ability to equip dragon weapons at 60 attack. I had to show this one too for obvious reasons. Now, it's too bad I didn't catch this on the video quick enough because we did hit 70 hit points and 70 attack, which meant we had 70 base melee stats in game, and we were around 87 combat too around this time. So yes, this is definitely something I wanted to share with you guys in this video. One of my favorite moments as well, but definitely not my number one. Alright guys, so sorry if I annoyed you with those honorable mentions. Like I said, I just wanted to go quickly and share these honorable mentions with you. I felt like they were still worth showing, but this would be my number one favorite moment in free-to-play. Yes, it was when the dev, Pizzazz, hosted a F2p pking event, which was a free-for-all event, but was later crashed, I guess, by clans that weren't really there to free-for-all, right? So I ended up getting piled because I was the easiest target there. I was 90 combat at this time, and yeah, 90 combat actually was one of my favorite moments too. Achieving that in game was nice and cool and everything, but what was even cooler was being attacked and piled by a clan and getting that same adrenaline rush that I got before in the past. For anyone who doesn't know, I used to be a clan leader myself back in RuneScape before it became EOC. And even when it was EOC, I was still leading my clan. But yeah, I was a clan leader, led a clan for like 3 years, and I really loved F2p pking at the time. Still love it to this day. It's just unfortunate that 2004Scape no longer has F2p pking events. I mean, there is sometimes community events that host F2p pking events, but they're just not as big as like this one was. Alright guys, that was my top 10 favorite moments in free-to-play on 2004Scape. If this video gets like 30 likes, I will go ahead and slap on another top 10 favorite moment, but this time for Members World. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Anyways, you guys take care. I will see you all in the next video. Alright, bye.